Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, earlier today, I got a comment from somebody on TikTok where I had posted a video reviewing the Nintendo Switch 2, and somebody commented underneath there talking about, don't get the Nintendo Switch 2, go get you a Steam Deck. And I'm thinking to myself, for one, who clicked on my video to see your comment? Not one single soul. Even your friends. I guess the only thing that I guess your friends would say if they clicked on my video and seen your comment, they would say, oh, hey, such and such also seen this video. But it's not going to be one of those things where it's like, they're like hoping that they see your comment. Fam, nobody came to my video for your comment. So stuff like that, that's one thing that I never understood about people, is that you'll be reviewing something, you'll review music, movies, video games, video game consoles, anything. You could just be reviewing anything. People will really comment whatever their review is, and they're thinking people are going to take over. Fam, people are clicking on my video to hear my opinion. If they wanted to hear your opinion or whatever, guess what? Your name would be TMossBoss. People would be clicking on your account. They would be clicking on your video. Last I checked, fam, you are a nobody in my comment sections, and you're leaving a comment that can easily get deleted, which it did. I did delete the comment because I'm like, fam, ain't nobody coming here for your comment. If somebody wanted to see what you had to say, guess what? They would have went to your profile, or they would have just asked you, hey, how do you feel about the Nintendo Switch 2s? Would you or is it better than the Steam Deck? Not one single person asked you that. That's like, it's people like that, it's them pick-me's where they're like, oh, I want to stand out. I want to, fam, you go on your own platform and stand out. You ain't gonna use my spotlight and stuff. Nah, you go on your own platform. You create your own spotlight. But anyways, I saw that and I was like, okay, you know what? I gotta do a podcast episode talking on both the Nintendo Switch 2 and probably I'm gonna be talking on all that because I feel like I need to give you guys a little bit of a history lesson between both platforms and stuff. But anyways, yeah, I am gonna be talking on the Nintendo Switch 2 and the Steam Deck. So without further ado, yeah, let's go ahead and get into this episode. So anyways, let's start off with the Nintendo Switch, because that platform or device. I guess I don't know whether I'm gonna call it a device, because I'm like, I don't know whether to call it a console. I mean, it's a handheld console, but then you put it in that docking station, then it's a regular I don't know, but we gonna call it a device. So anyways, I remember when the Nintendo Switch, when they like had announced it and they were talking about it, and they was like, oh yeah, it's all these different games gonna be coming out. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, what are some other games that were coming out? Those are like the two main games that I just remember people talking about and stuff. So anyways, but yeah, overall though, when they were talking on the original Nintendo Switch, everybody was blowing it up. It was like, nah, man, like this is the next device to buy. Like, you have to get the Nintendo Switch. You just have to, all right? So I remember going into GameStop's asking, and it brought me back to, I remember when my mom was trying to get the Nintendo Wii, and it was sold out every store. Like, you could not get you a Nintendo Switch anywhere. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna give up. If I get me a Switch, I get me one. If I don't, I'm not losing no sleep. So anyways, there was a day I remember I went into GameStop's, and I'm like, you guys wouldn't happen to have any Nintendo Switches in stock. Like, yeah, if you don't, I ain't even sweating it. Like, if you think I'm gonna get mad and all this, that woman, she said, no, we got them. I'm like, oh, well, I guess, yeah, you could go ahead and put a box up on there and stuff. I might want to cop me one today, fam. I remember when I very first played that Nintendo Switch, I'm like, fam, I was addicted. For a little while, I was addicted. I was playing a lot of different games on the Switch, but as the time went on, I was like, I don't know, like, I got more involved with PC gaming, and then Xbox, PlayStation, like, I was more interested in that. So I wasn't really playing on my Switch anymore, so it was just sitting in my room collecting dust. And eventually I sold it. I was like, I ain't got no use for this no more. Don't get me wrong, one of the best devices that I've ever had, but I'm just not using it as much. So anyways, I sold it. And then some newer games had started coming out. So I was like, dang, bro, I really want to play the Switch again. So I was like, you know what? The OLED came out. Let me go ahead and cop the OLED. Think I got it off of Amazon. So as the time went on, it was like the Switches, they were a little bit more easier to buy. Like, you could go any and everywhere and get you one and stuff, right? So I went out, got me an OLED, played it for a little bit. Same situation. Sat in my room, collect dust. Hadn't even played on it. Plus, on top of that, it was getting slow. Like, fam, I'm telling you, there would be days where I'm like, let me just check the store and just see what new games they got either coming out or games that are already out. Like, let me just see what they got going on, fam. Turn the switch on, loading. All right, it's like go to the store, open the store up, loading. Go down a category to see like the recent games, bestseller games, great deal games, loads every time. And I'm like, fam, I forgot what I was looking for. I don't even know what I'm doing here right now. Yeah, let me just go ahead and exit up out of here. But yeah, I wasn't even really playing on that OLED like that anymore. So yeah, pretty much same situation, just sitting in my room collecting dust. Then they announced the Nintendo Switch 2. And I was like, fam, something feels different. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but something just feels different about this Switch. This don't feel like the other Switches and stuff. This one feels like this is going to be a game changer. Like, and you know what? And just to tell you guys, there ain't really that much of a difference between the old Nintendo Switches. But I'm gonna overall talk on what I've noticed so far. But yeah, overall, if you're like, oh, this is like some next level gaming stuff like that, it's really, I guess, like if you're a Nintendo Switch, like just a strict Nintendo Switch user, like you're not like me and you got a gaming PC, PlayStation, Xbox stuff, all that stuff. Like, no, you just only play on Nintendo consoles. Then yeah, I guess it can be next level in a way. But anyways, but yeah, they announced the Nintendo Switch 2. I checked out some videos and I was like, all right, it seems like it's a console that I can get myself into. I'm like, something seems good about it and things. And so anyways, then it comes out and I'm like, okay, I got to get it. I gotta have it. All right. And same situation, could not get it anywhere. And I'm like, dang, bro, like the same situation all over again. Then I checked Best Buy. Best Buy had some in, I think it was either one or two. I can't remember exactly how much they had. Or no, I think I went on there and then they had like a pre-order thing. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna pre-order it. I'm definitely gonna pre-order it. I don't care. I'm like, hey, my bills are paid. Everything is good for the month. I'm like, I got some money left over. I'm gonna go ahead and cop me one of these Nintendo Switch 2s. And so anyways, pre-ordered it, got it, was waiting. And I'm like, fam, if you guys watch Terminator 2 and there's that scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger was standing, like just staring out the window and stuff, that was me. Like, fam, I had the Best Buy page open. I would like record videos, stream, podcast episodes, all that stuff, would check that page and just be looking, just to see when is it going to be. And they told me the date on when I would be able to go and pick it up and stuff. So anyways, but yeah, that day came around. I went out, I picked it up for Best Buy and I'm like, fam, I'm about to play this. So I had got like the bundle one where it came with Mario Kart World and stuff. So anyways, had set it up and then me and my dad we were playing Mario Kart, and that's something where I'm like, fam, like, it's things like that where I'm like, and the thing is this, like, do not get me wrong, like I do like the Steam Deck and I'm gonna get to the Steam Deck in a moment, but I feel like I gotta blend blend the lines. I don't feel like that's a proper way of saying that. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but anyways, but that's the thing though with Nintendo consoles, and that's how it's just always been. Nintendo consoles, they will bring a whole family together. Yes, you would be yelling at your family. You guys would be like, challenging each other to full-blown fights. But that's the thing though. Nintendo, they bring families together. And I'm like, fam, it was like me and my family, we were sitting down playing this console. Like, it was like, yeah, like pretty much like at least me and my sister, we were kids all over again playing on the Nintendo 64. Like, that's what Nintendo does for people. They make people have fun. And it doesn't matter what games that Nintendo has, you're always going to have fun with their games. I don't think there has ever been a time. Yeah, there's been times where I played a game and I've been confused. But for the most part, every game that Nintendo done put out, it's always been one of those games where you can have mad fun with it. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is that so when this guy, he left this comment talking badly about Nintendo Switch 2s. My question is this: when has Steam Deck ever brought a whole family together? I've never heard a whole family say, hey, let's plug up the Steam Deck and play on it. But the Nintendo Switch, yeah, and the funny thing is that, yeah, Nintendo or the Steam Decks, it's, yeah, I mean, like the Switch, it's the same way, because I know I'll be playing on it by myself, but it seems like it's a solo device. Like, you can't gather up a bunch of different people. Even with like a gaming PC, you can't gather up a bunch of different people and be playing. Nintendo, on the other hand, though, fam, Nintendo, they will have your best friend coming over to your house to play whatever game. They will have your family members. It's like, fam, there has probably been times where couples have met through Nintendo. Not saying that, with Steam Deck, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's probably, like, couples that I met on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, all that stuff. But it just seems like that Nintendo, it does something to somebody where if you have a group of people where you could just play the game, Nintendo is that platform, and that's the thing where it's like they might not have as many games as PC and all that other stuff, but that's the funny thing is this though, Steam Deck, they don't have that many games that you can play. Like, there's a gang of games, fam. I've had my Steam account since 2015. No, actually, no, I take that back. 2013. I remember I created me a Steam account in 2013. And then when I had got me a computer and stuff, I think it was like it was still 2013. But it was like there was a lot of different games that they had on there, and that was the thing. Like, if you have to have yourself a good gaming PC in order to play those games, and then it's the same business with the Steam Deck. Like, there's games on there where I'm like, man, I would love to see how this game plays on the Steam Deck. Game's not compatible. Like, there's the one game that just recently came out called Jump Space. Yeah, it's crazy because it's available on Xbox, but it's not compatible, where they say it's unknown. Yeah, there's like I think they changed that, because I remember before it was saying that it wasn't compatible, and then now they done switched it to unknown. But I'm like, I'm gonna go based off of what I originally seen. Yeah, they were saying that Jump Space Jump Space isn't available on the Nintendo Switch, but I can see it being available on there at some point. Because especially with the Nintendo Switch 2, it seems like with the Nintendo Switch 2, they're really trying to add a lot of different games. Because, we're seeing a new WWE game. I believe Madden, it came out for the first time. Yeah, it might not have been playing its best, but we're seeing all of these different games come out on the Nintendo Switch. And then, of course, like the normal Nintendo based games like Legend of Zelda, where we're seeing an upgraded version of it, of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. We're seeing an upgraded version of that. We're seeing Mario Kart World, the very first open world Mario Kart game. I'm like, that's something that I thought I would never see, but it's like you're seeing all these different dope games coming out on the Nintendo Switch. That's the difference though between this the Steam Deck and the Switch. What games are going to be compatible with the Switch 2 and just overall with the Switch. You don't know what games are going to be compatible with the Steam Deck. Now, yeah, they do have its own little section of games there, and that's the thing. I have I don't think they tell you how many games on hold on for a second. Let's see. I have over 500 games available or that I've purchased or downloaded on Steam, but I think it's only maybe 10% of those games are playable on the Steam Deck. I think when I last checked, it was 90 games are available, and I got over 500 games. You would think all the games would be available, right? And that's the thing where I'm like, okay, well, what needs to come with the, and I have so I do have a Steam Deck. I have the last one that they came out with, the OLED version. You would think that, okay, we're coming out with a newer Steam Deck, more games need to be compatible. I'm trying to think what else could they do. Maybe have it where there's some accessories that comes out that makes the game more compatible with the Steam Deck. But it's like, fam, you don't know what game, so you'll go out and get you a game where it's like, oh, I know for sure. If it's like a racing game, it's like, okay, well, it ain't like you need a mouse and a keyboard to play a racing game. This game should be available, right? Nope. You don't know that. So, and that's the thing. Nintendo Switch may not have a whole lot of games, but like I said, at least you know what games are compatible. That's like if you go out and get you a Nintendo Switch 2. I think the only game I've seen where it wasn't compatible, and I think that's something on the developers, they just haven't upgraded that game, or it was never compatible with Nintendo in the first place, is Batman Arkham Knight. And I don't think, hold on for a second, I'm like, this is usually something that I don't do. But yeah, you'll see where there's some games where they need like that upgrade, and yeah, it just doesn't look right and stuff. So yeah, there was like somebody, hold on for a second. Yeah, it's this Switch Up. It's some account. Yeah, that game is not compatible. That game is not compatible at all. I'm watching the video on it right now, and yeah, no, I'm like, that's no, that was on the Switch 1. Dang, bro, it's like, that's crazy. So yeah, on Switch 2, it looks like it's, you know, like the quality is extremely. Which one is this? Yeah, this is Batman Arkham Knight. It just looks like the quality is mad low, but for the most part, it's a lot more playable. And I'm like, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I feel like that was like probably one of the main reasons why they did come out with the Nintendo Switch 2. Because yeah, there are some games where it's like when you seen them on the Switch 1, it's like, yeah, you could tell that they was like, okay, let's just put this game on here just to make some money and stuff. But but yeah, with the Switch 2, it's like you're seeing it where games run a lot better. They are, and that's the thing with Switch, or not Switch, but the Steam Deck, you don't know what game is gonna run good or not. Unless, like, yeah, they have it where it says, like, oh, it's verified or it's approved or whatever. But it's like, fam, that's the thing. And I have to just say, like, with the Nintendo, just overall comparing both platforms, the Steam Deck, it's good for some games. The Nintendo Switch 2, it's good for some games. Both are in the league of their own. You know, it's like, but if we are going to sit down and compare the Nintendo Switch 2 to the Steam Deck, the Nintendo Switch 2 wins. Because you can, so the thing is this. You can plug this off up to a docking station, play it on your TV, and they might have like some. Hold on for a second. They probably got a docking station for the Steam Deck, docking station for Steam. But that's the thing though, it doesn't come with the Steam Deck docking station. Oh, they're selling it on Steam themselves. But can you play it? Oh, there's like, okay, so they do have like things where you can. No, wait. Oh no, yeah, they do. What about like a mouse and there's the keyboard. What about the mouse? That's crazy. It's like, but yeah, that's the thing though, that with the Steam Deck, docking station doesn't come with it. With the Nintendo Switch, a docking station, that was the whole selling point of the Nintendo Switch, is that you can plug it up to your TV, you can plug it up to your computer monitor, you can plug it up to your Elgato capture card, and I guess if you're a streamer or a content creator, you can plug it up anywhere and get the playing. And then if you're all like, okay, well, I'm gonna be out and about, like I'm going over to like, cause XXX Tentacion, before he passed, he brought a Nintendo Switch to the BET Awards show. So I'm saying, fam, it's like, look, people, if you're going to compare the two devices, at least make it a fair comparison. But it's like when you're looking at the Nintendo Switch, you got a lot of games where they're compatible. If not, yeah, all games are compatible, like especially the Nintendo Switch 2 games. But then it's like, yeah, you play a Nintendo Switch 1 game on the 2, then it's like you see it where it loads up faster, it plays better. I remember I went to play Tokyo Extreme Racer, the newer version on the Steam Deck. Fam, that game, it didn't look good. And that was the thing, because the game wasn't approved or it wasn't Steam Deck verified. And I'm like, fam, this is a racing game. You would think that, like, okay, with a racing game, especially a racing game where it doesn't require a whole lot, you would think that that game would have been like day one playable on the Steam Deck, and it's not. And that's like if a game, I guess, that's not really like a Nintendo, but I mean, I don't know, I can't, because like it seems like when you go out and get you a Nintendo console, you're definitely playing the Nintendo games more than any of the other games, because yeah, it's like Mario, Legend of Zelda, I'm trying to think of some other games, the Pokemon games, yeah, all those games are and those are games I guess like you can't really play on the Steam Deck, because Nintendo, I don't know why they don't sell their games. I think if they did sell their games on like Steam, Xbox, stuff like that, it definitely will boost up up the sales. I don't know why they won't do that. I'm like, yeah, that's something that I sit down and I think about from time to time. But anyways, but yeah, it's like it's not a fair comparison. Yeah, if we're probably comparing the Steam Deck to the Asus ROG Ally or the Lenovo Legion Go, or yeah, like another handheld, even then still especially with the Legion Go, I'm like, that's not a fair comparison. The Legion Go, now if we were comparing the Legion Go to the Steam Deck, then yeah, I feel like that's probably more of a fair comparison, and I'm gonna have to give that W to the Lenovo Legion Go, because I'm like, yeah, you can play a bunch of different games on there, because I know I was at one point in time. I have to say, probably out of all the handheld gaming PCs, I did like the Lenovo Legion Go. I'm like, yeah, man, it's a tongue twister almost. But anyways, but yeah, I just feel like the Steam Deck and the Switch 2, it's not a fair comparison. It's like the Switch, the Nintendo Switches, they're in the league of their own. The Steam Deck, it's in the league of its own. You're trying to blend the lines of two platforms that, it was, like, you can't really blend the lines. Like, it's like you're trying to compare, I don't know, like a Ford Mustang to the Statue of Liberty. It's like, fam, what like where am I? Like, I guess, like, how would this be a fair comparison? How would this be a comparison at all? It's just, yeah, it's not fair to the Steam Deck when it's like the Steam Deck is limited, but it's also not fair to the Switch, where it's like you're trying to compare a console or a device that's capable of playing PC games, when you know that the Switch 2 can't play no PC games unless it's games that they've like, it's one of those like universal games like Hitman or No Man's Sky. That was actually pretty dope on the Switch 2. But anyways, but yeah, it's like it's not a fair comparison, so. But anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.